Thank you for having me along. I was so excited to be invited, and we're going to do a session where I'll give you some tips to deal with menopause. We're all going to be at different stages though in our life. So you will take bits and bobs, some will be relevant and some might not, but I just hope that you get a little bit of something out of this. And bear with me if I'm looking down this way. I've got a screen that I can see you better from here and recording from the one where I'm looking at now. So we'll start seated, and you might well, before we do get started, you'll need a yoga mat, and if you don't have a yoga mat, a towel could be just fine if you wanted to lay that out. And we'll start seated. You might like to sit on a cushion on the floor, but you don't have to sit on the floor. So we want to make this as accessible as possible. If sitting on a chair for you is more accessible, we'll be sitting for about maybe 5-8 minutes. You might like to prefer to sit on a chair. So just feel free to find a comfortable seat for yourself, be that on the floor or in a chair. And we'll just start to feel into your body now. So in that comfortable seat, doesn't have to be cross-legged. Love how the dogs come to you when you sit on the floor. So welcome any visitors that come nearby. Hello. We'll start by taking the arms out to the sides with the palms facing up. And then as you inhale, raise the arms, reach the arms up, draw the chin in and the palms together above your head, and then turn the palms out. And as you exhale, bring the arms back down beside your body. And do that again a couple more times, just in your own time. You might even like to close your eyes down so that you can just feel and sense this connection with the body and the breath. The exhale to slowly bring the hands down with a little bit of grace in the fingers and the wrists. That's another round. And welcome to someone I just let in. We've just started by sitting down. And just a slow movement with raising the arms with the breath. And exhale, bring the hands back down. Just making this now the last round. And hands down. Bring the right hand down to the floor. And inhale, raise the left arm up. And then as you exhale, begin to move yourself now out to that right side, but really anchor down the left sit bone, so that's not lifting up. And then you get a nice stretch up that side of your body, all the way up the underarm. If you've got a shoulder injury, just honor that by bringing the hand down. Keep breathing here and inhale now. Feel the lungs expand, and then exhale, just gently soften and release. We'll come up now. Inhale, coming up, and bring the left hand down and the right arm up. Reach up. And then as you exhale, off you go now to the other side. So just be careful with the neck here, just looking to where it feels comfortable for you. Drawing the chin in or even looking up to you. And inhale, filling the lungs. And then as you exhale, just notice how your body softens and maybe even lengthens a little. Okay, coming back up to center. And bring the hands in front of the heart. And then clasp the hands. So the fingers clasp over the others. Okay, inhale now, bring that clasp up to the chin and raise the elbows. And then as you exhale, turn the palms forward and reach the arms out. Draw the shoulder blades back and keep breathing here. So stretch in the back of the shoulders. Just be careful you're not taking tension around the neck. Relax the neck here. Drawing the palms forward and the shoulder blades back. Okay, on your next inhale, raise the hands up, keep the clasps. And then as you exhale, release the fingers, draw them down. And then take them back behind you. So take now your clasped hands behind you. And you might even just hold on to the wrist if this is not accessible for you. Or you might be able to squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening the front of the shoulder. So just take care of yourself here. Just offering yourself this open and expansion in the front, drawing the chin in. Okay, now bring the clasp of hands over to the left side. So clasped hands now over to the left side. If it's not comfortable, you can release the clasp and just hold on to the hand. And we'll begin to open now the side of the shoulder. So bringing that left ear to the left shoulder. That's the way. And looking down if that feels okay for your neck, just offering a stretch into the neck. So when we're working at the computer a lot, and maybe in your own home, perhaps the ergonomics are a little bit different. You might be feeling a bit of tension into the neck, just moving the head up and down if it feels okay. Okay, coming back to center. And then take the clasped hands over to the other side. So now that's over to your right side. And so the ear coming to that same side. So it's the right ear to the right. Yeah, that's the way. I need to get good. Just feeling that juicy stretch up that side of the neck and the shoulder. And maybe even looking down if that feels okay. There's any movement here that feels right. Just opening that shoulder space. Okay, bring the head back to center. And then release the hands now in front of the heart again. So just touching the palms in front of your heart. And you might like to close your eyes here, or you can keep them open. Just feeling the hands touching and the warmth in the hands. The texture of the fingerprints touching and the lines on the palms. And begin to move the hands. At any time you can open your eyes if you're not comfortable. And rub the hands. So create a little more heat and friction. Feeling and sensing this light in the hands. Building the heat. And then release the hands. Bring the right hand to the chest and the left hand to the belly. And just hold here. So bringing the heat now into the body. And your attention within. If it's not comfortable for you to keep the hands here, then feel free to release them. But just for a moment now with your awareness into the chest, feeling the movement of the chest with the breath. And you might now be able to encourage that movement in the belly. So I'm going to ask you to consider breathing down into the belly now. So quite often we breathe into the chest, but I'll encourage you now to activate the breath down into the belly. So in your own time, as you inhale, draw the breath down and feel the hand at the belly button draw forward. And as you exhale, the belly button will draw back. So this might take a little bit of concentration if you're not used to this belly breathing. Remember, you can open your eyes or take your hands off at any time. But just for a few more rounds, feeling the belly like a balloon. Inhale, expanding. And exhale, gently contracting. There's nowhere else to be. There's just this important moment you're having with yourself, experiencing deep breathing down into the belly. Making this the last round of your belly breathing. And when you exhale again, releasing the practice and now releasing the hands just to rest down in your lap or wherever feels comfortable for you. And just notice how you're feeling now. So the belly breathing is my first tool I'd like to introduce to you to help encourage activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is a cooling response within you. So just noticing how you're feeling. And acknowledge yourself now for showing up to this practice, whether it's live on the video or if you're doing this later, just acknowledge the effort you've made to come here. Knowing that together we're all at different stages in our life. And throughout this practice, you can honor exactly how you have arrived today. You are completely unique, and embracing that uniqueness throughout this practice is encouraged by making sure you please listen to your body and change anything that I offer you in this practice. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of movement to get some energy flowing in your body. So when you're ready, coming now onto your yoga mat, if you have one, or a towel or whatever you have, and onto hands and knees. So there's no rush at any time. If you feel like taking a break or doing your own thing, you're very welcome. But invitation for you to come onto your hands and knees so that you stack your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Tops of the feet pressing down. And this is a tabletop position. So imagine you can form now a table with your back. You could take weight onto your back. So really firm and strong here. And we'll begin to soften with the breath. As you inhale, begin to lengthen the belly. Lift the tailbone up and draw the chest forward. Look forward. And then as you exhale, begin to tuck the tailbone under. Draw the chin to the chest, rounding the shoulder blades up. And keep moving with the breath. The inhale to lengthen the belly, lifting the tailbone and the sit bones up, chest forward. And your exhale to gently contract the belly in, tucking the tailbone and let the head be heavy. And I'd like you to move just at your own pace. Hear and feel the breath and synchronize this movement with the breath. And you can change this by reducing the back bend on the inhale and just staying in tabletop if there's any aggravation into the lower back. So this is your practice. Making any adjustment you need, but don't be afraid here to accentuate the sound of your breath. I'm going to encourage you to make a little bit more sound with the breath, a little bit like the ocean. If you restrict the back of the throat and hear and feel the breath and the texture of the breath. Last round in your own time as you exhale, drawing the belly in, rounding, and then coming back to tabletop position. And you can just, when you're ready, separate the knees a little bit more. Take the big toes to touch and send the buttocks back to the heels. So sitting back, hands out in front. If you've got a sore knee, a blanket underneath or between the calf and the thigh can help you here. Inhale now, lift the heart, draw the chin in, and then as you exhale, fold forward. And bring the head to rest down on the floor, or if that's not accessible for you, you might just stack the fists and bring the head to rest on your stacked fists. And this is a resting pose. So please make this resting for you. It should be unique to you. If you feel like you want to change to make this more restful, please do. Now you can notice while it is a resting pose, you can get a nice stretch in the lower back here. And you can now hear and feel your breath. And this is a nice place to come back. If you ever feel fatigued in our practice, you have an open invitation to come here and rest at any time, especially if throughout our practice you are feeling any hot flushes or you're just feeling fatigued. And that's completely fine. This is your practice. Take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, can you have an intention to relax and release a little more? Feel the stretch encouraged in the lower back and the lengthening of your spine. Okay, coming back when you're ready. On the inhale to hands and knees, finding your hands under your wrists again and the knees underneath your hips. Okay, so just like you were before in your tabletop position, pressing the hands down, this time we're going to add some core activation. So as you exhale now, begin to lift the right leg up, extend the right heel back and away. We're going to hold here. Keep pressing the hands down into the floor. The toes are turned down the right leg. Okay, so the heels drawing back behind you, drawing the belly in to support you. And now as you inhale, bring the right knee in toward the chest and round the spine like you did before, chin to the knee. And keep breathing. Inhale, bring the right leg long again, stretch it back, and maybe bring the chest forward, gaze forward. Exhale, bring the right knee in, round the spine. And the last round, maybe you'd like to also lift the left arm. So inhale, reaching the left arm forward, the right heel back. And then as you exhale, bring the elbow and the knee in, hugging it in, and then release, coming back to the tabletop position. Good job. So just give the other hand a little shake out perhaps, and we will go the other side. So grounding the hands down in your tabletop. Exhale, lift the left leg, draw the left heel back, reaching that leg parallel to the floor, grounding the hands, drawing the belly in. So this might be enough. You can come down at any time. Inhale now. Reach the heel back, and as you exhale, draw the left knee in, rounding the spine. And as you inhale, draw it back again. So nice and slow, the slower the better. So you can build control here. The inhale to extend and the exhale to round. And on this third round, maybe on the next inhale, reaching the right hand out in front, thumb pointing up. And then exhale, the elbow and knee drawing in. Nice and slow. And come back to the tabletop position. Good. When you're ready, big toes to touch again. Sit the buttocks into the heels, reaching the arms forward and bringing the head down to the floor. Or you can use the fist again if you prefer. So just notice how you're feeling here. So deliberately here, I'm offering you some space to rest in between so that you can check in with how you're feeling. So notice your heart beating, your breath and the pace of the breath. And again, on the exhale, have the intention to relax and release, letting go of any expectation of yourself here. We'll add something in here. So reach the hands forward if they're not already. Inhale, lifting the head, the chest, and then exhale, walk the hands over to the left side, forehead down to the floor. So you're taking your hands and your chest out to the side, but the buttock stays resting down or reaching down toward the heel or the floor. And just be mindful here to keep breathing smooth throughout the whole class. If there's any time where you feel restricted in the breath, it could be a sign that you may need to take it back a level. You might have gone too far. Just check in with that. Keep yourself account. Listening to your body. Keep the breath flowing, and as you inhale, feel that whole right side of the body extend and open. And then exhale, notice it soften, release, let go. We'll come back to the center in a moment. So on the inhale, coming back up, lift the chest, walk the hands to the center, And then as you exhale, over you go now to the right side. I'm a bit close to the wall if you're watching me, so you just take yourself as far out to the right that feels fine for you. Drawing the left underarm down, left sit bone draws down rather than lifting up. And stretching now that whole left side of your body. And as you inhale, fill with life force. And as you exhale, release and soften, let go. Nice and slowly, we'll begin to move again. The inhale to come back to the center and lift yourself back up onto hands and knees. Okay, this time turning the toes under. Turn the toes under. And then as you exhale, lift the knees off the floor, send your sit bones back, and begin to lengthen your legs. Relax your neck, you're in a down face dog. If you feel like walking the feet back, you could feel free to do that. Or just keep them close, whatever feels right for you. But bend your knees as much as you need here, pressing down into the hands, grounding the fingers and the knuckles to the floor. And you could be looking toward the toes here, but just relax the neck. So no need to force anything in the neck. We're looking for length here in the spine. The neck an extension of the spine. So thinking about the tailbone lifting up to the cornices of the room behind you. And with the knees bent, this will help if you have tight hamstrings. If you're feeling quite loose in the hamstrings, you might even begin to pedal out the heels up and down, stretching the back of the legs a little bit or offering some sensation. Now, if you're feeling like this is too much into your wrists, you could come back onto hands and knees at any time. And then finding some stillness in this down face dog, drawing the heels toward the floor, drawing the belly in, and then begin to walk the feet towards the hands. Or you could come the other way, the hands toward the feet, if you're feeling like that might be a challenge today. And folding forward. So in your forward fold now, really important to keep a bend in the knee so you can protect your back, lengthening the spine rather than taking tension in the back. If this is not accessible, you can come up with the hands on the knees or even the shins. Or if you've got your chair nearby, you can also be holding onto the chair. So just listening to your body, this is excellent to rejuvenate and regenerate your brain. The blood flowing down now into your brain. And if you like, you could sway from side to side. So taking your hands perhaps out to the left side, grounding the feet down, and then circling like a rainbow out in front again, and then over to the other side. But just be mindful to keep grounding the feet down, maybe as you take these gentle sways, drawing a rainbow out in front with your fingers. Whatever feels right for you. You might just prefer to stay still. Or if you're having any blood pressure issues at the moment, you might prefer to come up very slowly. Coming back to the center just when you're ready. Relax the neck, yes, no nod, maybe with the head to help you just lengthen again the spine. So the head being 5 kilograms. If you've been feeling fatigue, which is really common in menopause, this can be very helpful. So flooding your brain with fresh oxygen, inverting your heart and your head. We're going to come up now. So if you like, come up any way you like. I can guide you. Exhale and bend the knees, weight to the heels. And then as you inhale, press into the feet, bend the knees more and start to roll yourself up. So just be really careful with the spine rolling up and coming on up to stand nice and slowly. So just honor this slow, mindful movement, standing anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Just going to tilt the camera a little. So you can stand at the top of your mat, or you can stand facing the video, or wherever you like. And ground your feet down into the floor. Let's step the feet apart, and we'll do a little jiggle to encourage a little bit of weight bearing. So in menopause, you might be experiencing some osteoporosis, or just needing to do a little bit more weight bearing activity to strengthen your bones. So just be careful with this one if that's you, but this can be helpful. So feet apart, about at hip distance apart, and hands on the hips to start with, and pop a little bend in your knees. So just get to know how the knees are feeling today by just starting a little bit of a bounce. Now we're not creating any tension in the knee here, so just be really careful with the knees, using here the quadriceps rather than locking into the knee joint. Let's begin to bend the knees up and down, and then a little faster. So I want you to be gentle, but I'm going to encourage like a little bit like a jiggle here. Okay, now you might release your arms, and you'll notice your arms will jiggle if you can just relax them. So relax the shoulders, might even close your eyes. And you might feel a little bit silly doing this, and that's okay, it doesn't matter. You're in your own space. So you might even now encourage the jiggle right down into your hands and in your shoulders with your eyes closed. And if you want to add a little bit to this, then you can start to lift your heels up and down. And now you're jiggling with the knees bending, bouncing on the heels to the floor. And this is going to encourage that weight bearing down to help you with strengthening your bones. So a really important part of this aging process that we're in is to keep the body fluid and strong, but in the best and smart way possible. So with the eyes closed, last couple of rounds, you can stop at any time, and we'll begin to slow this down. And slowing down to the point where you're hardly moving, eyes closed, and then completely stop when you're ready. With the eyes closed, just bringing the awareness in and noticing how that feels for you. You might notice an increase of energy, a tingling in your fingers, maybe even the breath and the heart beating a little differently now. So these are really simple tools and techniques for you to do without a whole lot of strenuous activity if you're not up for it. Okay. So just notice how you feel and stay with this feeling within. And begin to bring your feet a little closer if they've stepped apart, still at hip distance apart. We're going to play around with some balance. So take the arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Keep the feet grounded and inhale, raise the arms up. Reach them up, nice and slow with the breath. And then exhale, release the palms face down and the arms down beside your body. So you can work at your own pace or with me. Inhale now, reach the arms up and come up onto the tippy toes. So same with the arms, but adding now a little bit of balance. The heels lift, and then as you exhale, bring the arms back down and the heels slowly down. And let's do that 2 more times. You can work at your own pace. Inhale to raise nice and slow up onto the tippy toes. You might even look up. That'll be a challenge on your balance. And have a little smile if you fall, because that's absolutely fine. And we should be having a bit of fun, experimenting and feeling into how your body's feeling and your balance, the strength of your feet. Okay. When you've finished that 3rd round, just coming back with the hands on the hips, looking down at your feet that are grounded into the floor. And we'll do a balancing pose. So you already know how your balance is feeling today from that little drill. So just honor how it is for you I'll give you a couple of options. Ground the right foot down to the floor and begin to open out the left leg and bringing the left heel onto the left ankle. So this is stage one. And you could stay here if you're feeling a little shaky in your balance today. So if you'd prefer, you could bring the foot into the calf. Your hip is open to the side. Or if you want to take this deeper again, you could pick up the foot and bring it into the inner thigh. So I'd like you just to choose this variation that feels right for you. So we know we're all different. Find the spot on the floor and just feel and sense into what you need today, grounding the right foot into the floor, no matter what option you choose. Please avoid pressing into the knee. So we want to avoid that knee joint. If you've taken the foot to the calf, bring it down rather than in the knee. Okay, then feeling roots growing through your feet, and that grounded leg is like your trunk now. If you want, you can keep the hands on the hips or raise the arms up as you inhale, reach the palms together, touching the palms, and then just hovering the hands above the head with the elbows bent, strengthening the leg, finding focus and balance of ease. You've got this. Good. Hands now into the heart. And then draw that left knee forward and reach the leg out. And then step it back down onto the floor. Good job. So just shake out that other leg that was grounded. Doing really well. Hands to the hips to set up for the other side. This is tree pose. So begin to open out now that right hip and ground the left foot down into the floor like it's growing roots. Find the spot on the floor and find the variation that feels right for you here. So remember, it could be just heel into the ankle or foot to the calf or drawing the foot into the inner thigh. If you choose the inner thigh, glad I've got a wall next to me, then really press the inner thigh into the foot rather than the foot into the thigh. If you wanted to, add the arms in, reaching them out and then up. And hovering the hands over the head. So strengthening the leg, the feet, and building here sense of awareness into your core to enable you to balance. Really good job. Hands down into the heart. And the right knee forward, extend the leg, and then step the foot down. Good job. Okay, coming to the top of your mat, please. Or your towel or wherever you are. And hands beside your body. We're going to do a few salute to the suns. We'll just do one round each side. And I'll give you an option to rest if you're feeling fatigued. So at any time you can listen to your body. So hands beside your body, arms long, ground the feet down into the earth, like they're both growing roots down. Outside edges of the feet, pressing down the heels and the balls of the feet. So this is mountain pose. We're pausing here, reaching the fingers down to the earth. And lifting the chest, the crown of the head up and drawing the belly in. So you should feel really active here in mountain pose. And this can be a really grounding approach. Okay, turn the palms forward now as you exhale. And then inhale, reach the arms out and up and lift your heart again. Exhale, hands together and fold forward, hands down past your heart and onto the floor. If you can reach all your shins. Inhale now, lift your heart, draw your chin in, straight spine. And then exhale, fold forward again and take the right leg back and the right knee down to the floor. And hold here. Left knee and left ankle aligned. You're in a lunge. So onto fingertips, chin in, chest forward, breathing in And then as you exhale, bring the left knee back to meet the right and sit the buttocks down into the heels. So this is your resting point. If you'd like to rest, remember we're all at different stages. Honor yourself here if you need to. Otherwise, inhale, lift onto hands and knees. And then exhale, tuck the elbows in as you come all the way down to the floor. And the forehead to the floor for the moment, hands underneath the shoulders and the tops of the feet pressed down. Inhale, lift the chest off the floor and reach the crown of the head forward. No weight into the hands. This is a great one to strengthen the lower back and the muscles to extend the spine. Draw the belly away from the floor. Please come down if you have sore back. Okay, as you exhale, release the chest, turn the toes under, lift to hands and knees, and then into your down face dog on the exhale. So lifting the knees off the floor, sit bones reaching back, relaxing the neck, pressing the hands to the floor. This is a long stretch of the whole back of body, strengthening the triceps and the deep abdominal muscles. So slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat. Remember, you can walk the hands back if you prefer. Relax the neck. You're in your forward fold again, and you might find you've got a little bit more length here in the back, the legs, so lift the sit bones a little higher. Okay, as you exhale, bend the knees, weight to the heels now, and inhale, press into the feet and roll yourself up, nice and slowly. Coming back to your mountain pose. So grounding the feet down into the earth, drawing the shoulders back, fingers pointing down, really active with the fingers drawing down, chest lifting up, belly drawing in. So grounding in mountain pose. Exhale, turn the palms forward. Inhale, raise and reach the arms up. Hands together and exhale, fold forward with control. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. Inhale, lifting your heart, straightening your spine. Exhale, folding forward. Take the left leg back this time. Left knee down to the floor in your lunge with the right knee and ankle aligned. Onto the fingertips. Really grounding the right foot to the floor. Feeling that stretch in that hip flexor. It can get really tight when we sit a lot. Drawing the chin in, collarbones forward. Inhale now. And then as you exhale, take the right knee back. Sit the buttocks into the heels. You can hold here if you like. Otherwise, inhale, leaning forward, hands and knees. Exhale, coming down onto the belly. Tops of the feet press down and inhale, lift the chest, draw the crown of the head forward with the chin in, belly away from the floor, so you're activating the deep abdominal muscles which support your lower back. Length here in the spine, no weight into the hands. Come down if and when you need to. Last breath here, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, release, turn the toes under. And we're actually going to sit the buttocks into the heels again and hold here. So just hold with a forward fold, arms reaching forward, or resting the forearms down now. And noticing how you're feeling. Noticing your breath, and your heart beating. And all the changes that have happened in your body, anchoring now into those sensations. Okay, nice and slowly bring the hands underneath the shoulders and begin to roll yourself up, coming up, and then finding your way to sit on the mat with the legs extended. And if you like, you might have a cushion or a towel and sit on that cushion or towel so that you can lift the hips just a little bit. It can help you when we do a forward fold. So with the legs extended, hands beside your body, chin tucked in, and lifting your torso up, drawing the belly in. So if you have a sore back, I'm going to invite you to bend your knees. We're going to do a forward fold, and if you have a sore back, that will help you. So legs extended, toes turned back. Inhale, lift the chest a little more. And then as you exhale, begin to lean forward and bring the hands out in front. So remember, you can bring the knees in a bend. And then inhale, lift the chest again. Exhale, maybe you lean a little further or walk the hands out. So just honor now yourself. If you'd like, you just stay in the first lean or fold. And if you felt like extending yourself, you might continue that method of inhale, lifting and lengthening the chest, and then exhale, folding just to wherever feels comfortable for you. And this is a one that I like to turn the palms up, just to surrender without that sense of reaching for the toes. Just turn the palms up. This is Paschimottanasana, and it is an excellent pose, again, for cooling and calming your body through the central nervous system. You're encouraging now the rest and digest function within. And so encouraging you now to come out of this if you need to, otherwise we're going to hold this for another few breaths. There's no need to reach forward or create tension in the neck or the shoulders. There's no medal to be won at the end of this one. Just holding here and allowing the breath to be spontaneous and flowing. And slowly we'll begin to release. Hands to the floor. Inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale, walking the hands back behind you. Really good. We've come to the end of our time scheduled, but I like to encourage you to please take a moment to lay down on your back. And we'll do just one more on the back. So coming down now to lay down on the back and hug the knees in toward the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And with the hands either clasped over the knees or the shins, have that intention holding yourself here to give yourself a hug. Now, it might even involve bringing your head up into the knees and giving yourself a nice squeeze, whatever feels right for you here. Or you might just stay down and give yourself a bit of love by rocking from side to side. So this is your choice now. Listen to your body. What does it need here in these final moments on your mat before you go back into the world? Really acknowledging that you're totally unique and you showed up for the practice. So just be grateful for a moment for that and for your body. As you exhale, have that intention to release. Bring the knees down, feet down to the floor. And if you have a sore back, you might prefer to keep your feet in the floor and just knock your knees in toward each other. We're going to rest here, or you could extend the legs out in front long on the mat. So this is Shavasana, or your variation of Shavasana, the final resting pose, which is often forgotten in the practice. And I encourage it. So in this now, this permission you give yourself to do nothing. When do we ever do that? Schedule time to do nothing. Relax, let go. There's nothing left to do. Allow your body to be heavy, resting and breathing spontaneously. You can observe your body breathing, and with every exhale, observe a little bit more relax and release. And as soon as we find stillness and silence, it's quite common the mind takes us somewhere else. And you might just observe that and gently bring awareness back to your body, laying on the mat, breathing. With every breath in, get a sense of the life force traveling on the air, filling your lungs with fresh energy. You might even notice a wave of energy coming in with every breath, all the way down to the fingers and the toes. With your awareness in the fingers and the toes, notice any tingling sensation, warmth or coolness. And then begin to move the fingers and the toes in any way now that feels right for you. Now, of course, if you'd prefer to lay completely still and you have the time to do that, I encourage it. But we have come to the end of the practice, and I'll invite you now to awaken your body in any way that feels right for you. And if that means staying where you are, then I give you the permission to do that, and I encourage you to give yourself that permission. Otherwise, moving in any way you like, and maybe even rolling over to the side. And when you are ready, keeping your eyes closed, come to seat if you are ready to finish your practice. So maintain that awareness within, with the eyes closed, and if you like, bringing the hands in front of your heart and bowing your head down in toward your heart, and recognizing here the effort that you made to be here and present in this practice. And I congratulate you for that. So just acknowledge that in yourself and the stage that you're at, honoring wherever that is. I do hope that we've given you some tools here for cooling, for fatigue, and for invigorating your body with fresh energy if it's needed. And most of all, my goal today was to encourage you to really accept exactly who you are. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.